Hi, first graders and first grade families. I am going to read a story to you today. The story is called A Barn Full of Hats. And before we get started, we're going to practice some R sounding words. Letters A, R can make the sounds you hear in the middle of barn. B-R-N, barn. Here's a few of the words that you're going to read in the story, A Barn Full of Hats. We're going to do my turn, your turn, just like at school. I'm going to say the word, snap, my turn, your turn, and you will practice saying the words after me. So let's do this together. My turn, barn, your turn. My turn, farm, your turn. My turn, smart, your turn. Marched, yarn, apart, Clark, large, barnyard. Barnyard. When I listen to that word, I hear the R sound twice. I actually hear two whole words in that one word. I have barn and yard. When I put them together, it makes barnyard. That's called a compound word. Let's move on to our story. A barn full of hats. So it looks like we're at Clark's farm here. And our essential question for the story and for this week is, how do we classify and categorize things? We're going to read about how some farm animals sort hats. After, you can talk about other ways that we sort clothes. All right, a barn full of hats. You'll notice that there isn't an author or illustrator on this book, and that's because it's one of our curriculum materials. You move my head so I'm out of the way. One day, 4 farm animals found a box in the barn. They opened it up. What was inside? Hats, hats, and more hats. Look at all those hats. Who wants one? Asked Hen. I do, cried Horse. It's smart to wear a hat. A hat will keep the sun out of my eyes. Looks like all the other animals are there and interested too. I see Horse. Think about who you see. Pause me for a moment and say all the animals you see. All right, I saw horse, pig, cat, and hen, and they all look like they want a hat. Look at all those hats. Who wants one? I do, cried Horse. It's smart to wear a hat. A hat will keep the sun out of my eyes. Why does Horse want a hat? Did you notice that I just reread? Help me remember what we were doing. So Horse wants a hat to keep the sun out of his eyes. Hen stuck her head in the box. She pulled out a flat, round hat. Try this hat, Hen told Horse. No, that hat is too flat, said Horse. A flat hat makes a good nest, clucked Hen. So she took the hat and she marched away. Pig pushed his head in the box. He pulled out a bright red hat. Put on this hat, Pig told Horse. No, that hat is too red, said Horse. A red hat looks just fine, grunted Pig. So he put the hat on, he put on the hat, and he marched away. There's Hen, happy for her hat. Pig looks happy. All right. In this picture, Horse doesn't look very happy. I hope Horse is happy by the end of the story. Look at all these helpful friends trying to help horse find a hat that he'll like. Cat poked her head in the box and she pulled out a thick yarn hat. Try this hat, Cat told Horse. No, that hat is too thick, said Horse. The thick yarn is nice, said Cat. I will take the whole hat apart so I can play with the yarn. She dragged the hat away. So many hats, but none for me, sighed Horse. That's the face he's making. Not a very happy looking face. Just then, Farmer Clark came into the barn. His hat was large and floppy. If only I had that hat, said Horse. That hat will shade my eyes. Horse grabbed the hat in his teeth. Farmer Clark laughed. Farmer Clark laughed. He put the hat on Horse. It stayed on with no trouble. It fits well, Farmer Clark said. Horse trotted to the barnyard. Clip, clop. He held his head high. Yes, this hat is for me, said Horse. In this story, they classified and categorized hats in a couple different ways. On the next page, it's going to show how hen, pig, and cat and horse classified their hats, the clues that told you they liked the hats or that they didn't. One of the animals is missing on the category, on the table in the next page. Try and figure out who it is. When you're all done, you can classify other things that you wear. During the story, we talked about point of view. It's the way that a story character thinks or feels. What the character says helps you understand his point of view. There's an example right here. They found text evidence on page 123. 1, 2, 3. Wow. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences on this page. Only 2 of them are in red. Those 2 sentences tell us the point of view from Horse. Let's look at that text evidence. It's smart to wear a hat. A hat will keep the sun out of my eyes. The clue that we heard is that it's smart to wear a hat. Let's move me over here. Look at the table over here. Horse thinks it's smart to wear a hat. His point of view is that he wants something to shade his eyes. Hen and cat have different clues with different points of view. This is on campus, this is on McGraw Hill. And feel free to go on there and use this story and other stories throughout the week. There will be other games to play here as well. I hope that you had time to think about the points of view and how to categorize things. Think about how you can categorize things. When do you categorize clothes? Pause me and think about that. I categorize clothes before I wash them and after I wash them. I wonder if you have other ideas. I hope you enjoyed my video thinking about points of view this week. the R sound, and how we classify and categorize things. See you soon.